All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Golf Unfiltered podcast. Hello to everyone watching on YouTube. Very excited to welcome on Mr. Stephen Harrison. He's the CEO and founder over at SIK Golf. You've probably heard of their putters. Most recently, I'm sure we're going to talk about why there's a very high-profile name that's been doing pretty well with these putters recently. Stephen, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you coming on. And, I had the opportunity to learn a little bit about SIK Golf recently at the PGA show virtually. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see each other face to face, but we had the chance to learn a little about each other. But for those who might not know the name of Stephen Harrison, why don't you let us know a little bit how you got started in the golf business?
Yeah, I was just a fan, really played golf all my life. Started in middle school and a little bit high school. After that, I fast forward past college, opened up a golf shop, and had an idea for a putter based on just my own personal use. So during that golf shop, we had a little putting contest. It was basically 60 or so people. One of the putters that I used walked out one night, and the next day I had a scramble we were playing in, and I basically went all up and down the wall trying to find a putter that I would purchase from myself. And every one that I hit, you could hear it, really high ceilings. It would hop and skip. And I just thought that there had to be a better way. So I started doing some recording, and basically logic brought me to this, which was the patented technology, Descending Loft Technology. It's got 4-degree loft change on the face of the putter. And it basically addresses any player's inability to return the shaft from address back to impact with any consistency. So if you forward press during that stroke and hit it slightly higher on the face, delofting the putter, we have more loft at the top. Vice versa, if you're adding loft to it with your hands behind, we have less at the bottom. We really want to get you a consistent launch angle. If you can control the launch, then you should better control your speed.
So was that when you had mentioned you were trying out putters, trying to find one that fit you the best for your preference? What was the problem that you were observing in your game?
Yeah, it was just the sound. Like I said, you can hear when the ball comes off correctly. I'm sure that you've experienced yourself when sometimes you hit a ball and it sounds really smooth, and other times you hit it and it'll sound like it's hopping and bouncing across the green. The more in tune that you are to it, the more you notice it. So really that was it, is what sound first, and then really trying to figure out what was going on, and then having other people hit, which you see it, you go play around the golf, one of your buddies hits a ball and the thing jumps up off of the face, and you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, can't believe that happened. You want to get the ball rolling as soon as possible. So we know that was a problem, being able to deliver it the same way consistently. So because we know that it's virtually impossible to have that built into the face, it helps everybody roll the ball better.
So the technology itself, and we should mention that SIK Golf, SIK, it's an acronym as I understand it, for Study in Kinematics, if I have that right.
You got it.
The technology of the descending loft concept is an interesting one, because as you mentioned, at the top of the face, I understand that it's 4 degrees of loft, and then it kind of goes 4, 3, 2, 1. And you had mentioned earlier that that's to get you back to the same address position at impact, because most golfers aren't able to do that. Do I have the notion right?
Yeah. So wherever it is that you start, if it's horizontal, or is that vertical? Sorry. How often can a player return it back to the same spot? And using the technology that we use to measure players, it was apparent. It's less than 20% of the time at a professional level. So most of the guys we work with are tour level. Amateurs is far greater. So they benefit even from it more.
Wow, that's incredible. Only 20%. And so I had the chance to kind of play around a little bit. I've got a SIK putter here, and people on Twitter, you're going to be able to see this here. I don't know how well that's coming across the camera there, but the loft itself, it's not something that you can see. At least I can't see it looking at it. But certainly if you go to sikgolf.com, you can learn a little bit more about the descending loft technology. And One of the things that you mentioned, Stephen, just now is a golfer may notice that there's an issue when they see the ball hopping off the putter face. Are there other issues that people might notice?
Yeah, the sound to where
Right.
you hear it skidding across it. Also, de-lofting the putter. A lot of people don't know it, but it opens the club face.
Mm-hmm.
So, adding loft to it hooks it. So either one of those things could also, depending on how much loft you're adding or removing from it, could make it influence direction as well.
When golfers go out and, for me, for example, I'll go play maybe once a week, twice if I'm lucky,
Mm-hmm.
which may include a driving range stop. And golfers want to get the most they can out of their round of golf because if they're like us, they don't play that often.
Right.
You also mentioned, though, that you work mainly with tour level players who play much more often and for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that there's a difference between what amateurs are looking for and what pros are looking for?
No, I think it's all the same. I mean, everybody wants to get a consistent launch and better distance to true roll. That's the beauty of it. Look, I can't go out and hit the ball like Bryson. He's one of the guys that you said we didn't mention any names, but Bryson DeChambeau is one of the guys that's using our putter right now. There's no way I ever hit it as far as he can. But think about it, anybody can putt as well as a PGA Tour professional. I mean, there's no really physical limitations that prevent us from doing that. So,
Right, right. And Bryson's one of the players that, certainly at the time of this recording, the match was just played yesterday. He was victorious with Aaron Rodgers as his partner against Phil and Tom Brady. And Bryson, certainly known for his distance, but he's a hell of a putter too. I mean, he's one of the best on tour. And let's face it, he's also got that persona where he's the scientist. He's always looking at numbers. He's tracking everything you can possibly track. What's it like to work with a guy like that?
yeah, it was, it's exciting really to be able to talk to somebody that wants to know as much about it as I do. A lot of golfers that we work with, they're like, look, put us in the right thing and we hope it works, or, you do your thing. Bryson's exact opposite. He likes to go down rabbit holes, try and figure things out on his own. So to work with him on the technology, we both learned a lot from each other. So it was really, it's been a pleasure working with him.
When a player like him of his caliber, and there aren't many of his caliber, but when they come to you and they're asking for certain things, obviously you mentioned just a few that are similar between pros and amateurs, but was there anything that stuck out, or is there anything that's sticks out speaking with the highest level players that they're looking for?
Just like I said before, as long as your equipment is set up and gives you the best possibility, I really thinking about that question, that the difference in professionals versus amateurs is the work that they do on the green. I mean, you don't ever really see amateurs practicing, right? They're always going to the range and hitting other things. So to have a good routine that you can do it after your putter's obviously properly set up for you. And it's really noticeable. I mean, when you're working on those types of drills, distance control becomes apparent whether or not you can accomplish these things or not. A lot of the times it's related to the equipment.
I once was told by a tour player once that everyone on tour can hit it a mile. Everyone is deadly accurate with their irons, wedges, whatever. And really what it all boils down to is a putting contest at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So to your point, why not get the best fitting putter for you? And what SIK Golf offers is a technology that certainly is patented. It's not found anywhere else. And it's a unique idea to combat some of the things that you just mentioned. And we should talk a little bit about the putters themselves, of course, where, as I understand it, they're 100% milled out of 303 stainless, or is it stainless steel?
Yeah, 303 stainless steel. We also use a 304 and sometimes a carbon, depending on we're going to color finish, but not very often.
You also offer a lot of different head shapes. I know the one that I just showed. Now, I'll bring it up here again for the viewers here. It's the pro shape, which I prefer more of like, the typical Answer or Newport style. But you offer other head shapes as well. Is that right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have 5 other heads, I believe, in the lineup. And then the hosels are interchangeable. So you can get, I believe with our component cart, there are over 150 different options.
That's incredible. Yeah. And I'm looking at the website again right now, listeners. It's SIKGolf.com. You've got the 5 head shapes there. You've got the Pro, Joe, DW, which that means double wide, I'd imagine. It looks like kind of like a hybrid blade mallet. You've got the Show and then the Flow. And what's interesting, too, is that you also offer a line of arm lock putters, which has been met with some controversy and a lot of excitement too. How has that been going for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, they'll try and do something about it now. I mean, I really don't want to comment on that, to be honest.
Sure, no, I understand.
They're going to be able to do it. I mean, USGA really do whatever they want, but it is a huge benefit to some players. I mean, if you can't control wrist motion or breakdown, I mean, we do wrist lock also. But every one of the putters that we build, we can build in either standard or arm lock or wrist lock, however you want it. It's just a matter of what hosel we use. With our arm lock putters, we have the hosel. The loft is actually milled into the hosel.
Oh, that's interesting. That's something that's got to be unique to you guys as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't really paid too much attention to other Bettinardi. I'm thinking no. I'm not really sure of the other companies other than Cobra now, who's now offering a putter.
Yeah, and you mentioned Cobra because you've got a exciting piece of information that I know you wanted to share, and that you've partnered with Cobra. What are the details of the partnership, and what can we expect to see?
Yeah, so they in a partnership with them using Descending Loft Technology, putting it on an insert on the face of their lineup of putters. So they have a vintage series that is it's more of the traditional looks, and then they have a 3D printed version, which is it's really truly amazing what they can do with MOI on a lot of these putters. So I know that they started. I believe they hit stores early June, like the 4th. So take a look at those. If there's not something in our lineup that fits your eye, there's the Cobra putters are really attractive as well.
The 3D printing thing is still something that just confuses the heck out of me. But I'm just amazed at what people can actually make with these things, and certainly putters. They're somewhere in the middle, I would imagine, of what people are able to invent with 3D putters. But the technology is incredible, and the descending face technology. You've mentioned it a few times, and certainly I've noticed how the distance control improves. You notice that the putts just roll out a little bit more, and we've all had that experience where, wow, just 1 or 2 more rolls, that thing's going to drop. This is one of the biggest benefits that I saw using it in my testing from voice of customer feedback. And I'm not talking, tour players, but I'm talking just average guys like me. What are some of the things that you're hearing?
Yeah, same thing. I think that everybody is really amazed with the roll. It's the same story that we get over and over again about how well it comes off of the face of the putter. Now, look, you can get a traditional putter to roll the same way. I'm certain of it because we all have done it. But it's the 2 or 3 times during that round where you don't deliver the shaft the same. Loft changes, ball doesn't end up getting there. That's the difference at tour level, making or missing a cut or even winning a tournament.
Yeah, it certainly is. And now you've got a number of players on tour, various tours, who play SIK putters. But my understanding is you don't pay any of them to play it.
No,
is that right?
That's right. No sponsorships or paid play.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, if the putter works, right?
Right. Well, that's the proof in the pudding there. I mean, if they're willing to do it, and these people are getting offered millions to play other things, but they want to go with the equipment that they're going to win with. And I think that's a testament to the technology that you've developed.
Yeah, you got it. It's been, we have 15 wins on the PGA Tour now, which is amazing. The major with Bryson with the U.S. Open, but also Brendan Todd, when he did the back-to-back almost 3 in a row, he was using the putter as well. Lonto Griffin's one with it on tour. Mike Vasaki, he's what a great story for a Monday qualifier. And to be able to go and play, it's just unbelievable. We didn't even know he bought that putter from one of his buddies out of a garage. We didn't even know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was really they keep popping up all over the place. And it's just, being a player and seeing of past and seeing how it is that all these guys are doing with it. I mean, it's unbelievable stories.
Yeah, and it just seems like every time a new tournament comes through, I'm seeing more and more of your head covers in players' bags, and it's incredible. Golf Digest Hot List Gold, by the way. I mean, kudos to you for doing that. And it's just an amazing story where, the one club that we hit on every single hole, and as you had mentioned earlier, if anything, if you're going to get fit for anything, maybe golf ball, but then number two should probably be your putter. It's just amazing how much you guys have grown in such a short time. Where's the limit for you guys? Is there a limit?
No, I mean, as long as people keep trying it and putting them in play, we will continue to do what we're doing. Look at what's coming up too. Really exciting things with Bryson being in the Olympics, which is unbelievable, and then Ryder Cup. It's going to be such an experience.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to see that SIK acronym on putter head covers all over TV, and if you haven't already. Yeah. And that just made me think of something too, Stephen. So word of mouth, we all know that that's the best form of marketing. These tour players talk to one another. They play with each other's, golf clubs all the time in practice rounds. Right. I'd imagine that word of mouth from player to player is a pretty big deal for you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's really how it is that people are finding out about it. I mean, we're not very big, a very small company. We, as you said before, we manufacture everything out of St. Petersburg, Florida. All of them are hand touched by, I don't know one of our employees that's not an avid golfer and absolutely loves what it is that they do for a living. So it's, once you find out about it and word spreads, something that works. Yeah, I mean, just continue to grow like that.
That's incredible. So being the CEO and founder, I mean, obviously this is your baby. This is something that you want to see grow even more. Yeah. What excites you the most about what's going on right now?
Yeah, just watching the success that players are having using the product. Everybody we're all very similar. We're all going to have the same problems. If it works for one, more than likely it's going to work for the others. And so to see it, and how it is that it's helped Bryson. I mean, when we met him, just to use him as an example, he was outside of the top 200 in putting. He was using a standard length putter and was really lost, to quote him. And to watch what he did over a couple of years to do that, to go into the top 10 in putting is just amazing. So it's, and then, like I said, to watch the Lanto story again and Brendan Todd, it's amazing work.
Yeah, it truly is. And it's a testament not only to the dedication that those players have to put in to better themselves, but they have the choice, again, of any equipment company out there, any single one. And some of the best players that you've just mentioned, including, quite frankly, the hottest player on the planet right now, is using your putter. So I think that's a testament to what you guys have done.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate, lucky to be there.
Well, keep it up. And once again, listeners, that's Mr. Stephen Harrison. He's the CEO and founder of SIK Golf. You can go out to sikgolf.com today to learn a little bit more about everything that they offer. Take it from me, too. I mean, I've tried it. I'm going to continue to do a few test rounds with it. Just gives me more excuses, Stephen, to get out of the golf course. I mean, let's just call it what it is. But I'm going to continue to play around with it and see additional benefits, hopefully, for my game as well. So before we let you go, Stephen, last question I like to ask often. Anything new coming up that you want to tease, or anything that you can let our listeners know to keep an eye out for?
Yeah, we have a couple of new shapes that are going to be coming out pretty soon. Probably early fall. Really something that is unique to the market and is going to be really customizable. So yeah, keep your eyes open for that.
We will definitely keep our eyes peeled. And once again, listeners, it's sikgolf.com, SIK Golf.com. Stephen, thanks so much for coming on the show to tell us your story.
Thanks, Adam. Really appreciate it. You have a good one.